What's going on, guys? Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Deep Exploration Code. In this video, I will show you step by step how to convert a Blender file to an STL file, then set the slicer parameters, and finally convert the STL to a GCODE file for 3D printing. Let's start. Once you have opened the Blender file from the previous tutorial, you should click on N in order to hide the measures. I click N again to hide the sidebar. Then I remove the windows on the right that contains the image by right-clicking between the two windows and then clicking Join Areas. Next, I move the mouse to the window I want to close and click the right mouse button again to close it. After that, I go to Edit, then to Preferences and write Print. Next, I check 3D Print Toolbox and close the window. Now I click on N and then on 3D printing to use it. I will explain all the parameters in an upcoming video if you are interested. Let me know in the comment below. Today, how check all works is what we are interested in. When I click on it, intersect face changes the value. I get a value of 8. I will now show you what intersect face means and how to set its value to 0. Because usually to use it correctly in a 3D printer, you need to have all the values equal to 0. I click on intersect faces and see what happens. I notice that several faces change color. This color change indicates a problem at that level. When I click on the edge selection mode and then move the selected edge, I notice that it is not really connected. In fact, we have two edges side by side. To solve this problem, I select and delete the following faces. Then I click on the vertex selection mode and each time I select vertices as follows. I click on F to create a face. When I have finished, I click on Check All again. We notice that the error has changed. This time we have an error called non-manifold edges, which is equal to 8. Next, I click on it to see the edges where the problem occurs. There are two places, the first where I just added faces and the other where I did not. This problem tells us either the edges are not connected, which is the problem of the second case, or a face is inside a closed volume. The first one is easy to solve, just add faces like this. Now, when I click on Check All again, I notice that the number has not changed, but the color has. This is because there might be a face inside the volume we created. So to make sure, I delete the next face. and then just delete it. On the other side of my object, I do the same. Then I select the following edges and I click on the F button to close it. I repeat the same step for the other side of my object. I notice that all the parameters are equal to 0 when I click on Check All. Now I go back to the object mode. Then I click on File and I go to Export and I click on STL. After that, I give it a name, which is circled in red, and then I click on Export STL, which is circled in yellow, to get the STL file. Now I click on the STL file. It opens in a software called Creality Slicer, which has the version 4.8. In my case, I also use a 3D printer called Creality CR10 Smart. Now I select the object that I have created in Blender. Then I choose the material. For my case, I will use PLA. And I set the size of the nozzle of my printer to 0.4 mm. Next, to save time during the printing process, I will reduce the size of the object to 20%. The only thing you need to know is that if you keep the real size of the object, the printing time will be much longer. Next, I click on Standard Quality to change the following setting. First, I select Dynamic Quality equal to 0.16 mm. Then I select Advanced so that other parameters are displayed. I then change the value of line width to 0.45. Initial layer line width to 120%. Wall line count to 2. Top layer to 5. Bottom layer to 5. Then I choose Infill density equal to 20%. Print speed equal to 60 mm per second. Then I choose skirt for build plate adhesion type. Finally, don't forget to check Use Adaptive Layers. By the way, I choose concentric for infill pattern. Then I select support and adhesion. Next, I choose concentric for support pattern. And then I put 5% for support density. And I select skirt again for the build plate adhesion type. Now click on Slice. The results tells me that it will take 38 minutes for the 3D printer to produce the object and that it will consume 4 grams of PLA. Now I click on Preview to see what will we get after printing. We can also see the different layers that the 3D printer will make. Finally, we click on Save as Creality format, which is circled in red to save it in G-code format. You can also see the object with another software called Creality Print, which can be downloaded from the same website if you want to see how the printer will print it. Here is what I get. Finally, I presented the printed object. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you next time.